Hey guys, it's Caitlin. Welcome back to the channel. This week's video is all about creating a loud brand as a quiet entrepreneur. This spawned from last week's video where we talked about personal branding. So for those of you who may not want to involve your personal brand directly into your business branding, you don't have to do that. We're going to learn how to let your business and your brand speak for itself. Whether it be a product-based business or a service-based business, it is possible for your brand to speak for itself, and that is really going to be all about showing the heart of your brand. And so when I say show the heart of your brand, I mean expressing those core values, your mission statement, your personality, and purpose in a way that really resonates with your audience. What we're really going for here is the emotional connection and whatever your audience gets out of your business. So the first step to showing the heart of your brand is to define your brand values. And so this is going to be those principles that you follow as a person or as a business. So for example, my core values for my business are intentionality, human connection, and empowerment. If you don't already have these core values, it's totally okay. You can also work backwards to define your core values for your business. And so what's going to be important here is focusing on what the customer gets out of your service or your product. The next step is going to be telling your brand story. So this is going to be of how your business or your brand came to be, what that story even looked like. So as far as the challenges, the history, and the success stories. You can also show the human side of your brand. So maybe a little story about the founder. And it can be really short. It doesn't have to be like your whole life story because again, we're not really wanting to tie personal branding into this for this example. We are really wanting to just focus on the business and let that speak for itself. But what you may find is that you want to tell a little bit about the founder and how things came to be. Storytelling is going to be super helpful for any business because what it does is it creates a human connection. And so what you are doing is you're kind of evoking an emotional response from telling your challenges, from telling your success stories, and kind of getting a little bit of buy-in. Visual storytelling is also super effective because you can further convey your emotions and messaging behind your brand. And so you can do this through your images, your graphics, and any kind of video that you may have associated with your product. Next, you're going to want to craft a mission statement. A mission statement communicates the purpose of your brand and how you intend to uphold that through your service and your product. With your mission statement, you're going to want to go back to those core values that we listed at first and tell your customers how you intend to uphold your core values in addition to the unique value that you bring to them through your product or your service. And so your mission statement should definitely be short. It doesn't need to be longer than maybe even a paragraph. Like that is going to be too long. Just keep it to about no more than 3 sentences and just make it concise and easy to understand. You'll also want to make sure that your mission statement is easily accessible, so people should be able to find it on your website or maybe on your product if you have space to add it there. Next is going to be humanizing your brand. So everything that we've been working up to on this point is going to be wrapped up in a pretty bow and made into relatable language. You're not going to want to use super jargony language here. You really want to just focus on connection. And so that means being relatable, being memorable, and using words that your market is going to understand. Other ways to humanize your brand is going to be telling those real stories, testimonials, and behind the scenes content on your business so that people can see that there are real people behind this brand. There are real people who are rooting and supporting this brand. And what that's going to do is really going to help them see themselves in your brand, whether that be your product or even using your service. I might say this in every video, but I cannot stress this enough. Consistency is going to be very important, especially when you're letting your brand speak for itself. Because we're essentially creating a personality that is not reflective of any real person that kind of has a personality on a different personality each day of the week, this is going to be a new personality that we are creating. And so you're going to want to make sure that this is consistent across all interactions with customers and all platforms so that nobody is confused on what's going on here. Consistency is also going to create an easily recognizable image for your brand. So if you have the same vibes on your website, the same vibes on your TikTok, the same vibes on your Instagram and YouTube and etc., it's going to be easily recognizable because they're going to know like these colors, this font, and that creates kind of like an imprint in the customer's mind of you, your personality, and your brand. I think this might be the biggest takeaway when creating a personality and a loud brand when you're not wanting your personal brand to be tied to your business. And that's going to be having a customer-centric approach. So when you are creating your own personality for your brand, focus on what the customer gets out of the experience. So if you are selling cameras, for example, only because I'm sitting in front of one, it's just kind of on my mind, what does the customer get out of that? They get a really pretty image, they get really great high quality photos, they get to capture life's moments. That's what you should focus on. Some customers might focus on the specs, but for example, I don't know that I'm too concerned about the specs. I just want high quality. Or if you are writing a book, for example, and you're not wanting to tie it to your personal brand and tell your own stories in there, you really just want it to be like a how-to book, then focus on the result that the customer gets from it. What are they going to feel after reading this book? Maybe they'll feel empowered if it's a self-help book, or they'll feel more educated if it's like a science book or something like that. So really focus on the emotions that are going to come from the customer after interacting with your product and your service. When you're letting your product or your service speak for itself, what you're really focusing on is the value that you have to offer the client. So to recap on how to share the heart of your brand, you're going to want to define your core values, tell your brand story, also use visual storytelling, create a mission statement, humanize your brand, have consistent branding elements, and have a customer-centric approach. Now let's get into some FAQs when you might be adopting this approach. Why should I let my product or service speak for itself? I think there's a level of strength that comes from this because you're not relying on anything that you as a person may have brought into the world. You're only relying on this very new product and service that you have produced. So what you are doing is you are relying on the benefits and the quality that your product or your service brings into the world and saying that this is good enough. I, Caitlin, don't need to say like, you should use this because I say so. You're letting your product say like, I'm good enough on its own, and I think that's pretty cool. Should I prioritize features or benefits when showcasing my product? I think you should focus on both, but probably more so the benefits. Because what we're really wanting to do is cater to the customer and show them that this is the transformation that you're going to get out of this because of these features. As a customer, they're going to want to know what's in it for them. So definitely put like 60% of your efforts into showcasing those benefits. And those that want to know the features are going to inquire for more. You have to remember that your customers are looking for a solution to their needs and an issue that they ultimately have. So you want to tell them that you have the solution for exactly the issue that they have. And they may not care about the features that will come with questioning. How do I effectively communicate the value of my product without being too promotional? So this is a great question. This is going to, again, come from selling the solution. A great story that I think would kind of paint a really pretty picture of this and help explain this a little bit better is that a man came into a hardware store and he told the salesman, I need a drill. And the salesman was like, for what? And he said, I have to hang a picture. And he said, okay, well, why do you need to hang a picture? And the man said, because my wife is on vacation and she really wants this picture hung. So what he ultimately wanted to do was make his wife happy, and the drill was going to help him get there. And so I don't know if that's the exact story, but that's just kind of the gist of it. And so what you're going to want to tell the customer when you are promoting your product and promoting your service is, this is the issue that I know you have, and I understand how to help you get to that solution, and I can be a part of getting you to that solution. That's what you're going to want to communicate. How can I measure the success of the let the product speak for itself strategy? Great question. So you can do this by using the same KPIs that you've been using on your other marketing materials. So if you're looking at views on Instagram posts, TikTok posts, how many click-throughs you're getting, you can continue to track that because that is going to be important for recognizing brand recognition. Another thing you can check is customer satisfaction. So based on the core values, based on your brand story, based on the benefits that you thought that the customer had, are they actually telling you that these benefits are true and that this is also what they're getting out of their product? That's what is going to be important. So to my fellow quiet entrepreneurs who want loud brands, I see you, I feel you, I am one of you, whether it looks like it or not. And I am here to help you create that brand of your dreams, whether or not you want your personal brand tied to it. I hope you guys found this video super helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share this with a fellow quiet entrepreneur so that we can all have loud brands. We all want loud brands. Also, leave a comment down below if you found anything particularly helpful. It would make me so happy to know that you guys are enjoying the content. Until next time.